The Houston Texans took training camp on the road to West Virginia. That's where I am. But did they leave the offense at home? We'll talk about that, plus the other big observations of day 10 of Texans training camp in the books, presented by my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. From repairs to replacements to simple preventative maintenance, Dwayne and Platinum AC and Heating are the best in the business. So let's start off with the offense having a rough day. The defense dominated. It was one of their best days overall as a defense. All three levels, all three teams of the defense had success against the offense. It was a dominant performance, probably the best by the defense so far in training camp. They loved the West Virginia setup for training camp. It was tackles for a loss. It was stuffs. It was sacks. It was excellent coverage. It was interceptions. It was pass breakups. It was pass breakups that turn into interceptions. So many things to like about what the defense did. Will Anderson, obviously, and Danielle Hunter, but Sheldon Rankins made some plays from the defensive tackle spot. C.J. Gardner-Johnson got his first interception of training camp, and he talked about it. They don't care who gets the interceptions, but I know that one felt good for him, and he took that one back to the house as well. There was so much defense success, so much defensive success in this practice for the Texans. And I mentioned it. Second team, third team guys. Darrell Taylor had really nice rushes off of the edge there for the Texans. You've had some really impressive stuff from Tommy Togiai at the defensive tackle spot. Mario Edwards Jr. tackled a guy with one arm, reaching behind him. Yeah, he just reached behind him as the running back was coming by him, and he tackled the guy with one arm. D'Amico Ryans has done an excellent job, not only coaching up this defense, putting them in the position to succeed when they have those first team guys in there, but the depth that he has talked about wanting for 2 straight off seasons, it finally feels that way. Arthur Millette, who's a backup slot guy for the Texans, he had a nice couple of plays. Had a pass breakup that he knocked up into the air, and Nick Neiman came down with the interception after Millette knocked it up. Jake Hanson's had a really nice training camp. He continued that. He had a near interception after a pass breakup, and he's doing a good job there at the linebacker spot. Over the course of camp, he has lined up with Henry To'o and Azeez Al-Shire at that 3 linebacker look for the defense. And at this point, I'd be pretty surprised if Hanson doesn't make the team if he keeps this up. He's had some really nice moments. EJ Speed ended practice with a pick 6 off of Davis Mills. Kamari Lassiter was tight coverage out there on Nico Collins a couple different times. So many defenders had good days, and you got to give them props because this is going to be a really good defense. And to have one of these days, it's going to be miserable for some opposing offenses this year as this Houston Texans defense really kicks into gear. That was, to me, the biggest thing from this training camp practice. Obviously, with that big day, you got to talk about the struggles of the offense. And C.J. Stroud did not have a very good day. His worst day of training camp so far. Through the interception to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, just never saw the safety in the middle of the field, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson just walked right in front of the intended receiver, Nico Collins, and found himself with the interception for a touchdown. So C.J. Gardner-Johnson's interception, there were a couple of timing things from C.J. Stroud where it just looked like maybe he should have got rid of it a little bit quicker. He broke out of the pocket a couple of times where I felt like maybe the protection was good enough. We'll talk about the offensive line shuffle here in just a second, but maybe the protection was good enough. There was a play where Jalen Petrie just flew in and Stroud just had it batted down. There's some stuff that he had to deal with, pressures and sacks and tight coverage, but some of the stuff that he's in control of, just timing, decision-making, threw an interception in the final first team rep of the day to Azeez Al-Shire in the end zone as the offense was trying to score. Some of the decision-making from C.J. Stroud, it didn't look good. Now, there's still some nice throws in the course of practice. Xavier Hutchinson on the sideline was one of them, a beauty outside to Jalen Knoll after Knoll beat Derek Stingley. But still, with the day the offense had, it was a rough one. C.J. Stroud was at the helm of it in his worst day so far in training camp. They're going to bounce back from that. I know that you don't try to take one day of training camp and have it drastically affect the next day. But you'd love to see, after Saturday was so good from the offense, and we liked it so much seeing that they had that solid day, to have this day, Monday, it was a little disappointing. And I got to imagine the way CJ Stroud was feeling at the end of practice, the defense jawing at him, he's going to make sure that practice 11 is going to be a pretty damn good one, methinks. So I am very interested to see how the offense responds from that. If you're interested in getting your AC fixed or repaired or just simple preventative maintenance, Platinum AC and Heating is the way to go when it comes to your air conditioner. Dwayne is the best in the business. He did my full air conditioner replacement earlier this summer. I needed it, and man, that thing runs like a charm. If it's repairs, he can get the parts and get the repair done lightning fast. 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau. 5-star rated by yours truly. If you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy, and that's Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating. So put that number in your phone. The West Virginia practice out here, that's where I am. If you don't recognize the backdrop, this is not my place. I'm out here in Lewisburg, West Virginia, which is down the road from the Greenbrier where the Texans are practicing. The offensive line shuffle showed up. And this was strange because after the weekend, the Texans had sort of intimated they were coming along with who they wanted on the offensive line. There was still some evaluation to be done. And then they shuffled out there a brand new offensive line. The first offensive line that we saw out there protecting Davis Mills was Cam Robinson at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, Jarrett Patterson at center, Ed Ingram at right guard, and Blake Fisher at right tackle. That was the first line they put on the field. And that first play was a really nice rush by Woody Marks. More about him in a moment. Really nice rush by Woody Marks. And looks like he might have taken it out there for a touchdown. I'm not exactly sure if it would have been a touchdown, but it was a nice run by Woody Marks. But then, on the play, Cam Robinson, slow to get up. He walks off the field. He doesn't return to practice. They put Zach Thomas in for him. But if Cam Robinson is down for an extended period of time, that definitely changes the way the Texans are going to operate on the offensive line, because the backup left tackle options are Austin Deculus, Zach Thomas, and of course, Ariante Ursery. Well, Ursery had been the starting right tackle for a lot of these situations. So obviously if Ursery moves over to left tackle, that has a vacated spot there at right tackle. Blake Fisher hasn't been very good in training camp. And so what did we see for the first time in training camp but an extended look at Titus Howard at right tackle? Yeah, the right tackle from the past few seasons for the Houston Texans back at that right tackle spot. So that was an intriguing wrinkle. That was the right tackle. Titus Howard was the right tackle protecting CJ Stroud. When that line came on the field, it was Ariante Ursery at left tackle, Jalen Thomas at left guard, Jake Andrews at center, Juice Scruggs at right guard, because remember, Titus Howard's at right tackle now, and then Titus Howard at right tackle. The shuffling is going to be intriguing, because if Howard's going to be the right tackle and Ursery's going to be the left tackle with Robinson out, then that right guard spot becomes a very intriguing conversation. Is it Juice Scruggs? Is it Ed Ingram? Is it Jalen Thomas? Is it Ladarius Henderson? Is there a chance that they find a better right tackle solution and they put Titus Howard back at right guard? There's a lot of mixing and matching that they can do. I don't believe that many of us want Ursery to start at left tackle and have Titus Howard at right tackle. That's not what I believe is going to be the best setup for the Texans offensive line. I believe it's Robinson at left tackle and Ursery at right tackle with Titus Howard at right guard. And Howard's had probably some of the best moments of any of the offensive linemen in camp. He had a great one at tackle against Will Anderson a couple of times in this practice. But is that the best setup for the Texans? They may not have a choice if Robinson's injury lingers, and Titus Howard getting a crack at right tackle just goes to show you that Blake Fisher's trust level is basically non-existent with this team right now. Finally, my biggest observation is Woody Marks creeping into the conversation at running back. Like, nobody's really done a great job of consistently separating themselves at running back. Jawar Jordan had a hot start to camp and haven't noticed him the past few days. British Brooks has had a moment here or there. Nick Chubb good Saturday. Just some very average stuff in the first West Virginia workout. But Woody Marks had a couple of really nice runs, and he had to go in there, figure out which lane he was taking, take that lane, make the play. Like, it wasn't just like, hey, everything's wide open, the seas have parted, Woody Marks runs through an open gap. No, he had to go make decisions, had to sneak into between those offensive and defensive linemen and make a play. And he even got a attaboy from D'Amico Ryans, basically in the middle of a play. Woody hadn't really finished the play, and D'Amico Ryans, hey, good job. He really likes how Woody Marks has done the past couple of days at training camp. D'Amico Ryans said that after practice. So I'm excited to see a little bit more from Woody Marks, and the potential that the fourth-round rookie could help you right away in 2025 continues to rise as he puts together some really solid training camp practices. And again, D'Amico Ryans, the Texans talk about this all the time, stack days. Woody Marks has been stacking days, and my trust in Woody Marks is starting to increase as he continues to stack those days. Not just as a third down back either. True, legit, honest to God running back. And we know they've got to figure out that running back situation behind Joe Mixon. Marks is making a case to help them figure it out behind Joe Mixon. Those are my big observations. Of course, the 1,000-word recap is on Houston football. If you want to sign up for that, that's in the link in the description down below. And I want to hear from you in the comments section. You a little worried about this offense? You just chalk it up to another defensive dominant day? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The Locker Room with Landry Locker every night. SNL, myself and Landry Locker from the Locker Room every weekday, 4 p.m. We got you live here from West Virginia. So much fantastic stuff coming your way. And of course, thank you, because your support, you watching, your likes, your subscribes, everything makes trips like this possible so I can go cover the team. So again, thank you to all the fantastic viewers. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon from West Virginia.